about your dream for Become What You Wish.
Oh. Thank you, Miriam. So yes, so Become What You Wish. It was very interesting start. It started with me wanting to help people to meet their dreams, like literally, because I saw so many people struggle at work. They hate what they do, and they don't even know their true potential because their parents told them to do that, or their like colleagues do the same, but they don't feel happy inside, and there is no one there to tell them you can do this, or let's explore what's your talents, where you want to go. Really ask them what they really want, because nowadays when people see each other, they're like, hi, how are you? But they don't really ask like, how are you doing? Like what you really want in your life. So that happened with me when I started doing what I really love, yes. And I realized it's not that hard to really go to that pathway, just getting out of the comfort zone and start doing what you really love to do. I know it sounds cliche, but it really works. It's just you need someone there to lead you to start doing that. And it's hard to start doing it alone, especially if it's something you didn't do it before. Your muscles are not used to it. So it's good to have someone like to trust, to work together. Yeah. So that's how Become What You Wish came out. The name says itself. It's like Become What You Wish. But yes, it offers different kind of services, but mainly to empower people to have the life they want. Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like your dream is to help people become the best version of themselves in some way, and to help guide them and lead them is really rewarding for you. I was curious to know if you could maybe demonstrate some sort of a coaching technique that you would use on a client with me. I'm going to be her guinea pig.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
We can do some mini template.
Sure.
Yes. Okay, Miriam. All right. So we're doing some mini coaching with Miriam. So tell me what area of your life you want to work on right now. Or subject.
Yeah. Right now, I think the biggest challenge for me is to have a specific time where I'm working on writing emails, because I find that I'm procrastinating so much with that, and I feel like I'm kind of like stressing myself out, and then it's like not getting done. So it's just like this never-ending spiral of like me not wanting to do something, and then like it kind of haunting me. So I wanted to know if there was any way that I can kind of push through that and push through the procrastination and find some joy in email writing.
Yeah, that's great, right? Because when we have something that we want to do and we think it takes so much time and so much effort, we just procrastinate, we avoid it, we do something that we even don't like to do, but just don't do that, right? Yeah, and the good thing with this, to kind of have an estimation, how much time does it take to do all that, right? And then also to set a reward system for yourself, right? I know. And reward can be anything. I don't know what you like to do, like to make a list. Since we have a short time, we're not going to go over all the details, but let's say we can work with each other to write down the list of pleasurable activities that you have. And
because we have such a short time, is there like a quicker way to get that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me one pleasurable activity.
I really like eating vegan donuts, and I usually don't because I'm terrified of gaining weight. So I reserve them for like really special occasions or super duper important self-care days.
Awesome. Is there any other activities? I need like 2-3 from you.
I also enjoy, like, I'm trying to think of things that I don't normally do. I really enjoy massages. Usually I don't get them so often, but they usually work the trick. Yeah,
this is perfect actually when you said I'm trying to think of something that I don't do usually, because in everyday basis we don't think about those activities, pleasurable activities. I mean, we're going back to certain routines, but it's an interesting subject to talk about. So pleasurable activities doesn't have to be something that you do once in a blue moon. It can be something that you do in everyday basis, right? Sometimes pleasurable activity, it can be like even watching a short episode of something, or like as you said, eating the meal that you like, or it doesn't have to be the meal that it's not good for you, right? Or going out on for a walk, or talking to a friend that you didn't talk for a while, or you talk but you didn't talk today that you wanted to talk. Something like short that will give you some reward, right? Let's say what comes up on your mind that you would do in everyday routine besides something that you would do once in a blue moon, right?
I guess like more for an everyday kind of thing. Okay, the problem is that I structure my day very well, so that way I incorporate things that I enjoy into my routine.
Okay.
So I guess it's more challenging for me to like find extra things because I already implement that to do other things that I don't normally like to do. So this is a little bit more challenging. I would say I can give myself permission to sit outside for a certain amount of time and just do nothing.
Great. Okay. Yeah, sounds great, right?
Yeah.
And like to be mindful, just see what your body feels like.
Yeah.
Just rest, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing. So when you start doing certain activity, writing emails, which you don't like to do, certainly you said, right? So yeah. So when you start doing, you tell your brain, oh, between those times when I'm gonna start my email, I will, after each 15 minutes, let's say, I will go outside and sit 5 minutes. So when you start doing, your brain thinks, oh, wow, we're going to have some me time also this time, right? And you have more motivation starting doing it. It's one of the ways of working. It will take longer time to work with someone instead of like more routine plan how it would work. But in general, that reward system to give yourself, like because your neuron connections think then, oh my God, I'm going to have something fun also out of this, right? Because when it's longer than 20 minutes and you do something that you don't like to do more than 20 minutes, your brain stops working kind of. It doesn't want to do it, right?
Right.
So,
It almost sounds like a protective factor in some ways to like protect me from doing things I don't like doing.
Yeah, because if you keep doing something that you really don't like, you're not going to be effective in it, and you will procrastinate it, as you said, right? And it's individual also how it works. For you, it might be 15 minutes, every 15 minutes, 5 minutes to do. For somebody, it's half an hour, every half an hour.
Half an hour might be better for me.
Yeah. For someone, it can be 1 hour. I remember when I was in college, and I would prepare for my exams, I would reward myself for a favorite show. And every hour after preparing for the test, I would watch 20 minutes of show and then 1 hour more. And it helped me to prepare all my tests perfectly just because of that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able. Yeah, that really worked. Yes.
So it sounds like it's more individual. Like let's say, for example, as you as a coach, like you can't tell me what works for me.
Yeah.
But what we're doing together is like finding out what works for me.
Yes.
So it's different.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's individual. That's why I use different methods and techniques, and it's not like there is one technique and method that works for everyone. It's very individual, depends on the individuality, depends on what you want to work on. That's why I never say this method would work for everyone.
Yeah. Speaking of methodology, I feel like we're good with this procrastination
as long as
piece.
you're good.
Yeah. Is there any specific technique that you gravitate towards?
So I often use, not with everyone, but I often use creative arts. And it doesn't, a lot of people say, oh, I cannot draw, I cannot paint, how I'm going to do it. It's not about knowing how to do it, it's about the process while you do what uncovers. Because when we draw anything, like it can be just two colors mixing with each other. It depends what topic we're working on or what exercise we're doing, what's the purpose. But when we start doing that, our brain doesn't control us anymore that much as we speak. Yeah, when we verbally speak, we unconsciously control what we say most of the time. And we don't want to be vulnerable. Filter, exactly. Yeah. And we don't want to be that vulnerable. And when we draw or paint, our unconscious flows through the hand, right? Like you say.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and when we have certain hidden patterns or talents, even it comes out through that. And when we start discussing
hidden powers,
powers and talents,
oh,
yes,
wow.
yes.
I love
So.
that.
Yes, a lot of times things come out that people didn't even have an idea they have it, or they would think about it. So then we start working through those artworks, and amazing results come up from that. Yeah, the unfolding unconscious world. Yes.
It kind of sounds like it would be even fun to do in a group setting, not just one-on-one. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing?
Yes, that's a great question. So yes, I run group workshops too, and it's not only for unfolding what's happening with you, but also for social skills. Yes, it's interesting, like connection when everybody's creating something and opening up, very non-judgmental like environment, and it's very empowering. And some exercises we're doing together, and and one of them is coming up. It will be in Central Park through Creative Arts, yes, and another one, yes, and it will be in August. And another one is coming up. That one is for women, again, through Creative Arts, self-discovery, because I know women have a lot of roles, especially in New York City. It's so busy, and some parts of themselves feels like suppressed, it seems like, based on my clients that I work with. And yes, I wanted to create this workshop to give an opportunity to really unfold and discover that parts that they want to put it out there, but they never had a chance for it. Yeah.
Wonderful. So I'm going to put the link of that workshop in the description down below if you're interested. Stella, I'm curious, is there any example that you can remember that you helped one of your clients with, self-expression through creative arts?
Yep. That's actually a good question, because a lot of people want to understand how it works. So yes, one of the examples is, it was a woman a couple of years ago I used to work with. She was amazing. So she always wanted to write a book. She had the idea in her head, but she's like, I always wanted to write this book, but I never can start it. No word, 25 years she wanted to write that book, yes. Yes, it does. And I'm like, let's do something about it. And we started working through creative arts with her. Okay. And so what happened, I asked her to draw how she would feel like if that book would be done already. The feelings, how would she, and she said I would be excited, I would feel happy, empowered finally in my life. And she put it out there, and I said, okay, keep this. It's your motivation to use this together while we're gonna work on this. And I would do it each time we meet. How it would make you feel if you finish this chapter or next one. And then for each section, I would tell her, let's paint or draw the scenario, what would happen in this section. So it's not only drawing, it can be funny drawing, whatever you want to do, right? Have fun with it. Put wording, this is this person, and we then would go through it together. She would tell me the story, this is this person, this is what's gonna happen, this is that, and that. And right after that, we had a computer right there. She would sit down and just write the whole section within 20 minutes. And she was like, oh my God, I never could even start. And she would finish the whole section. And then after that, it was we would complete the date, and then next time we would do the next chapter. And it was interesting how it unfolded, visually seeing all that and coming for it. Wow. Yeah, so it was interesting.
I'm curious, if you had to guess, how many pages did she write in session with you?
So for each time, it was a lot. It was 4 pages or so. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I was very excited for her because she had finally a chance to express what was there for her all that time. It was her dream. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Yeah.
And I want to thank Stella so much for taking the time out and speaking with me. And thank you so much for helping me with that challenge that I had. I like that little mini coaching section. And I guess we'll end now.
Yes.
And thank you so much for watching.
Sure.